Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Nikki here, and seeing it's the middle of November, I think it's about time I started creating my journal ready for the 1st of December. So I thought I would pop the camera on while I very quickly create my cover. I am using an old Nescafe coffee sachet box as my cover because I like the size. I have trimmed away obviously the top and the bottom, and I did put an extra piece of cardboard in here to give this a little bit more strength for when I sew my signatures in. And to save some time, I have already done my chopping and stuff like that so that I have things relatively at the size that I want them so that we can just do this. But I just want to show you how easy it can be to create a cover for a journal using some junk. This is a piece of scrap paper that was in my stash. That's going on the inside. And then I am using this piece that I have already trimmed. This is a Craft sheet because this Christmas I am going for a bit of an Australiana style theme. There will be no snowflakes because it's stinking hot here in Queensland where I live at Christmas time. So I am going to try and stick with that theme. So I picked this sheet because I will have this little bit of embellishment down in the bottom corner, and I've got some bits, a few additional bits to add to it. So we're going to start and just show you. I just thought this is like a really easy way to make a cover. I know you can do all sorts of wonderful, elaborate things, but look, honestly, I don't have the time and I need to make things easy. So all we have to do is plop down some glue. Now, this is my favorite glue. This is Tiger Grip. I know you can buy it here at Spotlight in Australia, but I also find it in a lot of cheap shops. I think it costs like $4.95, and this glue glues everything. I can glue paper, cardboard, plastic, you name it. You want to fix anything or you want to glue something, then you need this one. Oh, of course, it looks as though my nozzle might be a little bit blocked, but that's okay. I'm just putting down relatively decent coverage, and then I will close it up because I find, see, it's already warm here. I find it starts to sometimes pop out of the top a little bit. Now, just to spread this out a little bit, I like to use a spatula. Again, I think I just got this from the cheap shop because I've ruined way too many brushes doing gluing and all that fun stuff, and of course, forgetting to wash them. So I just use a spatula to spread it out. There we go. And then I'm not too worried about not quite reaching the edges because I will be folding it over and gluing it down on the underside. So now let's pop this down. Actually, no, I will do it this way. Just, there we go. And I'm going to it down a little bit towards this corner purely because of the deco that I want on display down in that corner. And it doesn't matter that these are all uneven because I will be putting a cover sheet over the inside so no one will need to know anything. That's how I like to craft. If we can be a bit bodgy, you know, sometimes that's what we're going to do. Then we just make sure this is down nice and even, trying to ensure we don't have any air bubbles in it. Again, oh look, if we really got one, it's not life or death. Then what I like to do is just gently nudge these folds in while the glue is damp and that paper is a little bit moist from the glue. I'll do them a little bit more later on, but I find if you already put a little bit of stretch in, you reduce the risk of actually tearing the paper. Okay, so there we go. Not going to force it too much. I just like to try and get a little bit done. Then we will cut off our edges just because I don't need any more bulk than absolutely necessary. So we just trim those off. And what I will also do is trim a very tiny little slit just on those joins. I don't need them too big. Again, I'm just trying to avoid the bulk for when you actually close the cover. So we don't need to trim much off. We just don't want a ton of excess. Go, nice and quick and easy. Anybody can do this. You need zero technical skills to pull this one off. There we go. So that's done. Look at that. Actually, it went on beautifully. This paper, the Kaiser Craft, is just a nice thickness. It's not too thick and not too thin. So that seems to be holding up really nicely on those edges. Fabulous. So now we're just going to glue all of these down. And what I'll do is just sort of do one at a time. Again, you don't have to worry about getting right up to the edge because once again, there will be a cover sheet over the top that will help it to stay in place. You just want to get a nice grip happening. This glue is fabulous. It dries pretty quickly. It gives you a little bit of a grace period, but not too long. See how it tends to pop up and out a bit? I'm convinced it, because honestly, it doesn't do it during winter, but it definitely does it in the warmer months. It must be a heat thing. But anyway, it doesn't matter because I need quite a bit to do all my edges. And I'm just going to pull those up and try and make that as neat as I can. Even though it doesn't quite join up, but that's okay. We can deal with that later if I decide I don't like the look of those. I can put something on the corners. We'll do both of these together. Actually, we'll do all of that. See how it comes out? I might just clean that off a bit and close it down. There we go. For a couple of seconds while I do these bits. Very simple, very straightforward. And if you don't like these gaps, I have plenty of spare. I can put something on those corners, but I am not too concerned about that. I might even put some metal edges on this one yet. Have not quite decided on that. We shall see. And it would help if I actually opened it. There we go. This glue will give you long enough. I wouldn't do the whole thing down in one go, but as you can see, they're not popping up. The only places it's popping up is where I maybe don't have quite enough glue, but this is honestly the best glue to work with. It also dries completely clear. You will see nothing once it has dried. And it just holds everything so firm. I love it. There we go. That one's down. And the lucky last bit. There we go. And once again, just going to give this a gentle nudge in the right direction. But as you can see, this was my plan. I wanted this bit to be on display, because that's sort of my introduction to the fact that I am going for a little Australiana, bush, native type theme with this journal this year. So even though what I'm going to add to it has nothing to do with that theme, at least I've got a little bit of it showing there. So there we go. Now, that is good to go. The next thing we're going to do is just line the inside. Now, you will see I love this print, but my gosh, there is no way I would ever use this side because there are no snowflakes. There are certainly no snowmen. Maybe down in Tasmania, they sometimes get a bit of a white Christmas, but definitely not in Queensland. We are where I live in southeast Queensland, subtropical. So, oh boy, our Christmases are very, very warm. And so this year, no pretty sparkly snowflakes for me. We're going to try and do everything but that. Go now, of course, I've blocked this a bit, haven't I? Actually, I think this one might almost be empty. It's feeling a bit that way. But that's okay. I'll put this down for now, and if I have to go around and tie... Oh, I actually think that is empty. Didn't I not think of that before? Anyway, it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter whether I've even got this the right way around or the wrong way around, because this pattern will work either way. Otherwise, I would triple check if this had a directional print on it. I would make sure that it was the right way, but honestly, it doesn't matter in the slightest. Uh-oh, Nikki, I've just realised something. Oops-a-daisy. Hang on a minute. Guess what I forgot? Wait a minute. Oh, now, thankfully, you get a little bit of time to play with this, because guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to glue my ties in. That's okay. We can remedy this situation right now. I don't usually do ties like this, but I didn't want to do any form of wraparound tie for this journal, and you'll see why in a few minutes. Why I didn't want to do that, because I don't want to obscure the view of what you will see once the journal has some decoration on the front. Oh, now we better pop a bit more glue down, seeing I've upset its little apple cart and pulled it up. That's okay. And then I didn't force this bit down because I remembered, thankfully. So, oh, this one's going to be a bit tougher, but it's okay. We will be able to get it in just far enough, I think. Oh, Nikki, that could have been a disaster. I would have had to have come up with a plan B then, wouldn't I? But that's okay. We're all good. I think we might have just saved the day. And I'll just use this here to check. Oh, look at that. That was a good guess first time round. Well done. Now, I might even put, because this one's a bit shorter, I might do some stitching around the edge just to secure this. But we shall see how we go. Better redo this a little bit. And there we are. Oh, that was close, Nick, but all good. So now we're just going to let this rest for a few minutes, and then I will go around and check all my corners and everything. And if I'm not comfortable that this is going to be strong enough, I might stitch that in. But for now, we're going to let that be, and we're going to just add my next little bit. Give this a slight bend at the same time while we're at it. Go. Beautiful. So I need my little bend mark here so that I know where to add the next bits that I've done. So what I've done here, this is just a piece of green cardstock, some red embroidery thread, and lots of sparkly things. Now, there's nothing Australiana about it, but I like sparkly things, so no matter what theme I'm doing, there will be glitter and sparkles. I've also cut out a gold glitter tree shape, sort of a rough shape. And then also I had this beautiful deep red that has a beautiful pearl sheen and pattern on it. I did stick this down onto a piece of leftover cardstock that I had because it was very fine paper, and if I tried to use this glue, it may buckle it. So we had to definitely come up with another plan. Then what I want to do is something along these lines. Just got to make sure we can make it fit without going over either side there. And that one is going to go in the middle. That is the plan. So let's glue these down. Again, I'm keeping things very simple. Anyone, instead of cutting out a fancy tree shape, I went, no, I think we can get by with a pretend tree shape. It will do the trick very nicely, makes it quick and easy. Oh dear, we are running very short of glue here. Oh, and I've got a gunky bit, I don't want that. But again, trying to keep things quick and simple. And I want to use this glue rather than a glue stick because I want these to be well and truly firmly in place on my cover. So there's that one down. I love that paper, it's just beautiful. And I also like the fact it was sort of a slightly duller red. Now I'm just thinking, no, that does just fit, that's okay, we're all good there. Pop this one down. This glue is great for sticking on top of things that have a rough surface too. It works really well. That's why I'm so in love with it. It's just my absolute all-time favorite glue. So we're just dotting this on because I'm definitely running out. Thankfully, I have another one in my stash ready to go. I always have a spare just in case it's out of stock or something, which seems to happen a lot these days. And I think I might nudge that one up a little bit so we don't cover too much of that flower and you can still see the pretty little glimpse of wattle. So we'll pop that one on there. I just hand cut these raw. I wasn't worried about perfection. And then the last one. Now, what I did do though, just because these I was sewing just on cardstock, just to give it a little bit of strength and safety, I put a little bit of sticky tape where I went in and out of each hole, just because I didn't want it to tear. So I thought, right, we'll just put a bit of tape there to give it that little bit of extra strength in case we knock it or something like that, even though I'm sure once it's glued down it will be fine. But I just thought that might be a good idea. There we go. And I think we may have just had enough glue to pull this off. And voila, we are done. I'm going to pop that one right down there. Oh, do I want it a bit further? Decisions. No, I think I like it no, we'll just cover that one there. That's what we're going to do. I like that. And again, tiniest bit of glue, not that I need to worry. This dries completely clear. You will never see anything. We'll just pop that down. Now, all I have to do is leave this. Oh, wait a minute. We have a little bit sticking up here. May not have quite enough glue there. But what I'll do, I'm going to leave this now for half an hour to dry thoroughly. And then any little bits where it's not stuck down to my liking. I haven't decided, but you know, up to now looking at this, I do want to put a star on this tree here, but I will have to go hunting through my stash for the appropriate star for that. But there we go. Have a look. It's quick, simple, I think quite effective, and it was easy to do. And I love it. And there we go. So that just has to dry now. And in my next Christmas video, I think we will be making some ephemera pieces using some junk that I had around the house. So that will be my next video. So if you are not already a subscriber, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button. I do planner and paper crafting videos. And if you enjoyed this, please hit the thumbs up button. I would really appreciate that too. So bye for now. Stay safe and stay healthy. Until next time for some more Christmas crafting. Bye.